I'm going to do a little garden walk around. I'm a little busy, but I hadn't showed this garden in a while. Cantaloupe. I just get right to it. You remember I got my cantaloupe and my cucumber plants mixed up. They wasn't labeled. I had them separated. Somehow I crossed them when I went to plant them. And how I done it, I don't know. Somehow I got them mixed up. But this is supposed to have been 3 cucumbers in this sawed-off barrel. There's 3 cantaloupe. And it's alright. It's going to be a little aggravating because it's going to spread everywhere. Just like cucumbers will, but I've got to keep up the cantaloupe now and probably do a little different watering. Cantaloupe has to have a lot of water, especially the intense heat we got. As far as the pots, I still got onions growing. I've got pecan trees over there, and I got a cherry tree, blackberries. I got several blackberries growing. One lonely old onion in there for seed. I'm letting it go to seed. It's a Glissa Craig. I lost all my other seed ones. But got a mysterious plant coming up. It's a vining plant, so it's, who knows. It don't exactly look like a cucumber and don't exactly look like a cantaloupe, so it's volunteer. We'll find out. Don't bother me. Muscadine plant I actually got started. I've got 3 of them here technically. Got another one up there. Yeah, I've got 2 more up there somewhere. These are the cucumbers that's supposed to be in cantaloupe. But this is 10 plants. These 10 plants are producing somewhere around 6 to 10 cucumbers a day. Big slicing cucumbers, not pickling, which we are making pickles out of them. I just picked one a while ago and I walked by, I seen it and I said, better get it. You won't remember where it's at. Brussels sprouts, well, you can see the bugs got them. I don't know if there's any hope left for much of it or not. Maybe it'll come back out, but they've been pretty rough on it. Every time I treat it, it rains, which, washes it off, and they just keep eating. I run a bunch of bugs off, but got rid of several, but oh well. It ain't no big loss. Another volunteer plant. I know it's of the pumpkin species. I'm thinking probably a pumpkin squash, one of them big plants, or big gourd-like shaped pumpkins. I don't know. We've had 2 or 3 different things put in the compost, and if I remember right, this seed was actually, or this volunteer plant was growing in the garden. I'll take that back. It was growing in the driveway. I dug this one up out of the gravel. This one was growing in the driveway. Another rounded leaf one. Kind of in between. Not really sure what it is. Volunteer. I put it at the end of the garden. It'd be good. Volunteer tomato plants. They are the little tiny cherry tomato plants. You can see the little tiny cherry tomatoes down there. Very good. Very strong flavored. We'll have to turn because the sun is coming up. Alright folks, I had to change angle. Sun's getting in my eyes, getting in the camera. These are the Mule Team tomatoes. I'm 6'3" and these is higher than my head. They are doing outstanding. They grow really big tomatoes, most of them, except for this one. I was talking about heirlooms on the live the other night. This came out of the same seed packet. It puts on between golf ball and tennis ball sized tomatoes. Only one that does it. The rest of these, I can find a tomato down. I showed somebody the other day. This one puts on a whole lot of large tomatoes. To the fact, sometimes I pick them off early because I'm worried about the plant. These are a jungle. I've pruned them, I've cut them back, I've tried to get rid of them. That's a monster there. That tomato getting close to 6 inches in diameter. See if we can turn, get the sun off of us. These are the cantaloupe. These were supposed to be over there. They start up there at the cucumbers because I thought I was putting cucumbers in succession and I was running them on down the fence row. Cucumbers and cantaloupe are not supposed to be planted together, especially if their family is real close on the names or the same name. Right now we've got some Nerf ball sized cantaloupes in there, and the cucumbers up here is like the other ones. They're anywhere from 6 to 12 a day. This hedge here, I guess you could call it, with 8 hills. There's cucumbers hanging. I seen one waiting for me to pick right now. And they start way down there, and they're already up here to the top of the okra. Red, crimson red okra. I like doing that. Somebody else started that. These are the ones I planted from seed just to make sure they come up, and they live, so I plant them. I get, I don't know, half a dozen every 2 or 3 days. Each plant to give me one every couple of days. It's enough I can mix in. Jet Star, Jet Setter tomatoes. These are a little short at the top because it's the hottest part of the garden, but these are pretty well head high. And then next row, same thing. I'll just show you the tomatoes. I can see the orange over. You can see the tomatoes hanging on there. Jet Star, Jet Setter makes medium-sized tomatoes, but it makes several. And it's indeterminate like the mule team, so they're here to stay apparently. They've took the 100-degree temps pretty well. Jalapenos. That jalapeno plant is over waist high now. And it makes good size. Good sized peppers. They'll get 3 or 4 inches long. This is supported by the fence, reading it's so tall, I'm sure. These are almost waist high. Pepper plants should get tall. More jalapenos. More jalapenos. Jalapenos all the way up. A good sized joker. And it fell off my hand. Guess they'd have to go in. These are Jet Star, Jet Setter. I was showing you the tomatoes on. You know, they're right at head high. These are succession planted. The mule team was planted first. The first row of Jet Star, Jet Setters I showed you was second. These 2 rows is 3rd and 4th. So as we get up here to the top, they're going to be a little shorter. But they're running about 5.5 feet. Yeah, it's a woolly mess. But with the intense sun and heat being close together, they kind of protect each other. It seemed to help. That was not planned, but it worked out that way. It wasn't planned in my mind anyway. Maybe the Lord just had a plan. Yeah, there are tomatoes hanging everywhere. These are, it's a little shorter. I got a bunch of them down. We had a little wind with our rain the other day. Thank goodness it rained. It finally rained. This plant's time to straighten up. It was blown completely down. Wadded up. My roll of peanuts I keep making videos about. They're doing really good. The two at the very top don't, it's hot. Guess it's too dry up that high. Bell peppers. I didn't talk about the banana peppers. I got one mixed in with the jalapenos, but they're doing really good. I've already made pepper rings. That was something I was talking about when I showed part of my harvest the other day. I didn't show it all. I done worked on quite a bit of it. I just showed a portion of what we're getting. You can see everything's doing really well. This is a bell pepper, regular bell, probably a California bell pepper. It's over knee high now. That Nova's probably the biggest right now. It's outgrowing everything. It's shaded pretty well by the tomatoes and the corn. Incredible sweet corn. Yeah, I've worked it over in the storm. Last 2 times it rained, the storm worked it over. Looking kind of rough, but it made some ears. Got 3 rows. I'm still having to clean up crazy stalks. This is another row of jalapenos. I grow jalapenos for a fire department, the volunteer fire department thing. They have a fish fry to raise money every month. I can provide onions or jalapenos or something like that for them. I do. There's a reason why I got so many jalapenos. No, I didn't intentionally decide to grow, 20 jalapeno plants because I don't need them. But if you plant your plants from seed, pepper plants can be kind of aggravating to get started. I got aggravated because they wasn't coming up, so I planted another round. Part of them come up. I planted another round, planted another 5. Well, suddenly them 5 came up, and the rest of the other 5 came up, and the first 10 I planted came in. So I've got plenty of jalapenos for them. Got a few watermelon plants. I kind of run out of place to plant them, so I put them down here. That's the sunchokes. Yeah, they're 7 foot tall now. They're monstrous. Big old stalks. I'm surely we'll have some sunchokes to try. There's got to be some big roots out of there. My row of Clemson spineless okra. I see 1 or 2 that probably needs to be picked. I gotta get back to the picking after the video. Yeah, I kind of skipped over stuff. This is 2 rows of blue corn. I got excited over the sunchokes. You can see one of them's doing good. Several of them small, still coming up. It's been so dry the corn wouldn't push up. I'd wet the ground, it would crack like they was going to push up. They stopped. I do have a few plants, some tiny ones you can't see on the camera up here at the top. It's finally pushed through and trying to do good. I don't really know what they're going to do, if I'm going to get anything out of it or not. This is my last row of potatoes over here, my early potatoes. These was the replanted ones, which really didn't make them early. They're like the rest of them now, they're about the same time, but all the early potatoes were around it, and I had to go back and plant these because I planted store-bought potatoes and they didn't grow, they rotted. They grew eyes, but they never did turn into anything. Most of them disappeared and I dug them up. These will be ready pretty soon. They're starting to lay down. That's the gist for this garden. We'll cut through here. I can see the tomatoes on the back side. I didn't. You see all the tomatoes sticking out from under the plants. My one lonely corn stalk up there growing off of the drip line. It'll probably be the best corn I got. But I've made a decision. I'm buying more drip line if I can afford it, and I'm running it for the corn next year. No more droughted corn. No more burn up corn, hopefully. So, hope you enjoyed the tour. Y'all have a good day.